Hello, everybody. I apologize there. We have our
Hey,
internet is not the best in the world tonight. We are, for whatever reason, we're in and out. So if our internet is gets bad, then please let us know. We'll see if we can't do something about it. Um,
hey, Scatty.
let's see. We're waiting for a few people to come in here.
You got 12 watching.
12 watching.
They just ain't all talking.
We got 12
Hey,
watching.
Karen. 12 watching and 11 thumbs up. That's pretty doggone
That's
good.
pretty good. We hope everybody's doing good. Um, do you have anything to say before we get started?
Nope, just get started.
Just get started.
Just get started.
Me and Medina went for a bike ride this afternoon, and we had a good afternoon. And it's supposed to get cold here, even in the we're far south as you can go in Alabama without stepping out into the Gulf of Mexico. And they say we might get snow Wednesday morning. I don't believe it.
Not Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday morning
Was it
we may get
Wednesday?
snow.
Okay,
Yes.
I missed that part.
Is today
Hey, Lake
Tuesday?
Superior. No, yes, yes.
Then tomorrow morning we may get snow.
No, tomorrow's supposed to be beautiful. Wednesday, Thursday's supposed to
Thursday morning we might get snow, but I don't believe it. I've only seen it snow honestly about twice down here, and it didn't last very long. It never sticks.
ice did.
Yeah, it iced over one time. We even had a in front of our house, the canal in front of our house had ice in it. Um, got a couple of people to feature tonight that we thought it was pretty important that the word gets out. This was a case that if I can get it to come up, come on. The FBI is looking into a search for a missing
Northumberland.
Northumberland woman. Uh, you read a lot about this case, didn't you, Dina?
Yeah.
What does it say about it?
Um, well, read the circumstances behind her disappearance because I can't. I don't want to misquote
What
something.
it was is this lady was a worked at a convenience store. Um, get this come up. There's more pictures of her. This
I
lady
didn't think she
worked
worked
at a yes, she did.
convenience
She
store.
worked at a
Okay.
convenience store, and they had good video. The last time, what she did, she went out and started her car. Apparently, letting it warm up before she left for home. She went and video showed her going out to empty garbage, that they accumulated and during the night at the store. And when the camera saw her go out to the garbage can disappear, and that was the last thing they saw her. The night people came in the next morning, and I'll let Dina read some of this, but what happened was the night people came in the morning. I mean, the morning people,
Yeah.
and they found her car running. It'd been running all night out there, and the place was open, of course, and everything. So they considered it. They thought, well, this is a robbery, So they checked everywhere, couldn't find her. They got a dog and tracked her scent to a road behind the store, a good ways behind the store. So what they're thinking is that the guy came in, abducted her, and took her off, and probably killed her, unfortunately, or maybe she's holding her. He put her somewhere. And the reason why I say is this. This is a picture of the convenience store, and I apologize. I don't know why these things are taking so long to come. That's a picture of it. And this news reporter is actually on the side of the convenience store. You can see the truck there is parked and around the other side. So it didn't have much lighting as it looks like there. But they arrested this guy right here. We'll go back to the narrative here in just a minute if I can get this to come on. Why is it not doing that?
Because it knows you
All
want
right.
it to.
This is the guy they arrested for her kidnapping and abduction, but apparently he has not told them where she is. So he is, I guess, exercising his right to remain silent, and that's at this time is all that was reported. Now, says here, Northumberland, Northumberland, Virginia, FBI. The FBI agreed to assist in the search for 28-year-old Her, Her, Heatherville woman who had been missing Wednesday night. The sheriff there announced at a press conference. And how do you say that? How do you pronounce her name there?
Ariel Smith.
Ariel Smith was leaving work at the Little Sioux store in Clairville around 9 p.m. on January the 12th when she started her car, then returned to lock the store door to the store. Okay, well, I guess this is what happened. The way they're saying now is she started her car, she went back and locked the door to the store, and then she brought the trash out to the dumpster to throw it away. And then I assumed she was going to get back in her car. Once she went out of the view of the security camera, that's when she went missing. The security camera footage is the last known sighting of Smith. Her car was found still running outside the store when workers came in at 4:30 in the morning. So that's pretty tragic. And that tells me this guy knew where the security cameras were to at least not get seen.
Or he was very lucky.
Well, the reason why they might have got him was they probably had security cameras in the area that captured his vehicle.
But she could still be alive.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
she could be.
Smith's last seen wearing a black Nike hoodie, blue jeans, brown Ugg boots. She has multiple tattoos, including a rose going up her right thigh. Anyone information is asked to call the Northumberland County Sheriff's Office there.
It's dangerous for women to work in a business by
Alone.
themselves.
That's something.
Well, tonight on the news, they talked about that that college student that got working at a furniture store by herself, and a guy walks in and kills her, walks out the back. They doesn't say he robbed her or anything.
No, or raped her or anything. Not saying stabbed her, I think. Said, please come forward with the information that you may have, no matter how significant or insignificant you think it is. Said if you drove past the store that night on 12th Avenue, 12th, between 9:18 and 4:30 the next morning and noticed anything at all, please call the sheriff's office. They need evidence. But the fact that they got this, I don't want to say what I think of him, but
there you go.
But he's a criminal, and he's a dirtbag, and he's a sleaze bag, and a waste of good air.
Okay, even so you weren't going to say what you were thinking.
Well, I wasn't going to say what I was thinking. I'm just say that. Then, even though they've got him, apparently he has not said where she is at.
Well, because right now he's only getting charged with certain things, right?
Yeah, kidnapping.
They know he has her. They know he had her.
Well, they arrested him for abduction.
Okay.
For her abduction.
Okay, so they must have.
They must have a video film, but they will have false imprisonment, kidnapping, and obstruction of justice because he refused to say where she's at. But that's a whole lot less time than murder.
Where was that?
It's Virginia.
Virginia. I was going through some of those things today, and Virginia has a lot of teenagers missing, that are not found. That's really scary.
If they're missing, wouldn't they be?
No, I mean a lot of times they pop up there and they'll say found safe or found deceased, but these are a lot of young people that are missing. I was surprised at how many Virginia has.
Yep. Anybody got any questions or any news about this case? I have not
Or any
checked
other?
it like
Oh,
tonight. You might want to check if they did find her since we went on. I mean,
anything's possible. It was how? What was her? Pull it up. The name again. Ariel.
Ariel Smith,
No.
AHREA''. Was she found?
Her body has been found.
See, by the time we posted this to now, her body has been found.
It says Virginia's missing Ariel Smith, body found in search for woman believed abducted at the end of her shift. Have uncovered a body in the search for missing Ariel Smith, 28-year-old woman whom police say a man abducted from her job at the end of her shift on January 12th. After an extensive search operation throughout the day, search crews located a body matching the description of Ariel Smith on a property in Heatsville.
That's sad, very sad, but unfortunately,
and she is such a pretty woman.
Looking at this sleaze bag, I could tell that he probably did it. Who knows, what the reasoning is for it, but
he had his probation revoked in 2008 and had passed charges of sodomy and abduction, which were dropped. So this is not his first time. He has a lengthy criminal record with guilty pleas for selling cocaine, child abuse, assault, and attempts to smuggle contraband to prisoners. Deputies arrested him on Saturday. Says Smith was last seen on surveillance video taken at Clarkville Little Sioux store in Heatsville at the end of her shift Wednesday.
They should have two people working at a store like that. Even a male, or at least enough surveillance. I don't know. We've owned, in our past we've owned several. We've owned
a gas station. We wouldn't let any girls
ice
work
cream
at night.
shop. We've owned a bunch of places like that. In fact, we had, and I say two people, we had a guy work for us, a man worked for us at a service station.
They just found her remains at 6 p.m. tonight.
Wow. Just an hour ago.
Yeah.
We had a male work for us. It was on a main road. In fact, the store was less than a block from the police station, but he worked there all night and every night, and we never had any problems there.
Karen said they should have never let him out of prison, and Candalee said they are dropping a lot of charges in so many states it's sickening.
Well, in New York and someplace in California, they have what they call a no bond policy, which if you are not convicted or not arrested for a very violent crime, you get out on bond.
I mean, even if
there's
you go
no
in and
bond.
rob a store with a gun.
Yeah, I think it's unless it's rape, murder, or some type of crime against person that is really violent. If straight robbery, out, there's no bond, set, because they're trying to eliminate holding people. I see it's a double-edged sword. If you're not guilty and you were picked up and you're in let's just say in Alabama, for instance, and you're picked up for something, you could stay in jail 2 years waiting your trial, and they not set your bond if it's a violent enough crime, whether you're guilty or not guilty. Just like in Alabama, I'll tell you a simple little small story that will give you some gravity of the situation. I had some information that there was a guy was going to bring over the Mexican border into South Texas, a little town there, 1,000 pounds of marijuana, and or maybe it was a few hundred pounds. And I called out there, and the guy just says, "Well, I'd love to help you, but we don't even we hardly make an arrest under several thousand pounds of marijuana. It said we had a judge the other day, a guy got caught with 9,000 pounds of marijuana, and the judge gave him probation. So here's the deal. If you get caught in Alabama for 3 pounds of marijuana, it's trafficking. It's $1 million bond, $1 million bond, and you have a minimum of 5 years in jail, minimum, for trafficking. And if you got harder drugs, it's even longer than that. So, it just depends on where you are.
Yeah, it does. California, New York, Chicago, Philadelphia.
What?
Those places are bad. Those are real. They're really bad. Portland.
Yeah.
They don't care if, as long as you don't take out more than $995 worth of.
Yeah, that's in California.
But it's other places too. This
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
you can take that out of a store and you won't even be prosecuted. Up to $9,000 or $995. You
walk in,
walk in with a $700-800 TV, pick it up and walk out, and they didn't even prosecute you.
Somebody it was on the news or something somewhere. One of the news channels was talking about people can walk into a store in San Francisco and squat down and leave a mess.
That was somebody was talking about the other day that they can actually go to the bathroom in the middle of the floor and they won't do anything about it.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
this is not a third world country.
That's insane, really. It is. This one was a case that we were looking at.
Wait a minute. Teresa said, "Don't get me started on Colorado courts. They have no clue. Letting Morphy out on cash bond in Chaffee County murder charges."
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I said this before when we talked about this case. When they did the prelim, and I read that case file, the judge came back and said, we do not have enough to try this case. They said that we do not have enough to indict him, but we're going to bind it over for trial. I mean, here's the thing. If that case would have won in Alabama, even though I believe he's guilty, the prosecutors, when they presented it, because I listened to that whole case and the whole preliminary hearing and all, they did not present enough evidence to prosecute him for trial. I never heard a single thing where it presented enough evidence to do it. So they said that the judge even said, we do not have enough evidence.
And if they try him one time, they can't try him again.
They can't try him again. It's double jeopardy. And so that's why he was let out on trial on bond, because the judge did not feel there was enough evidence was presented to hold him. And I said that we were covering that hearing 100%. And right afterwards, I talked to other people that were really strong on it. And I said, did you hear any evidence? And they said, oh, they're holding the evidence. They're going to present it at trial. That's not what they're supposed to do. In the preliminary hearings that they have, that is a discovery hearing. That basically what it is, because in the American justice system, the prosecution has got to give the defense all their evidence for them to review.
Now, if they find new evidence between then and the trial, do they have to give that too?
Yes, sir. Cannot even bring it up without the defense getting that evidence.
What about when New York passed that law that said that they had to give the attorneys of the defense attorneys, the name and addresses of the people that were filing the complaint, that were the witnesses or whatever?
The witnesses, that's a problem, because you have a right to face your accuser. And if you're not supposed to go out and threaten to kill them,
But they
and
are.
I know, but unfortunately, they have a right to know who is going to testify against them.
But when
You know
you've
what I'm
got
saying?
drug lords
I
and you've got
understand that.
gangbangers,
I
they
understand.
should not have my
I
address.
understand that, but the law says that if you are going to testify against me, if I was in that situation, I have a legal right to know who these people are, to find out. You wouldn't want a bunch of gangbangers to come up and say, "Oh yeah, I saw him do that," make up stuff, or somebody, and you didn't know anything about them. So this allows the attorneys to research them and find out
Except that's
who they
not what's
are.
going on. And so,
Well,
as a
it's
wait a
not.
minute, let me tell you something. As a civilian, as a citizen, if I witnessed something and I knew that my name could be given to those gangbangers and stuff, I would say I didn't see a thing.
Well, that's what's wrong with the United States right now. When you go out to, say, a project, when somebody gets shot and killed, a little kid does, and you ask the neighbors, "You see anything?" "No, I didn't see
Well, why
nothing."
would they say they did if they could have their
Well, I'm just saying
name
you
and address out
cannot
there?
turn your
Okay, what do y'all think?
you shouldn't be able to turn yourself away from something that you see because you're afraid. The police and whatever is supposed to take care of you. Well, I'm just
There
telling.
ain't enough police to take care of
Well, you
everybody,
cannot sit
and you
there and
can't
say,
have a
well, you
gun.
cannot sit there and say, I didn't see anything. If you do that, you're letting them win. That's what I'll say. I'm not afraid of them. I'll tell it like I did in the past. I got people threatening me all the time. When I was running narcotics and working drugs, I had people threatening me all the time. It didn't stop me from doing my job.
They threatened your own family.
I know they did. Well, okay. We disagree on that.
Mr. and Miss Southern Sassy.
Uh,
Miss you, Mr. and Miss Southern Sassy. Never heard that one before.
This is a Pomata stepmother begged for the public's help and her daughter that went missing 64 days ago. And this is the
Thomas said it wouldn't stop him from testifying either. That's great, but I just think of the single mom or
well,
some.
if you turn your back on crime and say, I'm not testifying because I fear for my life, you're letting them win. And that's just the way it is. All right, this is a runaway missing juvenile. Her hair was red and purple and black at the time. Her father had dropped her off at a mental health facility for some type of meeting or whatever. After the meeting, she came back out to him and said, "Oh, I forgot my phone. It's in there." She goes back in, gets her phone, she leaves out the back door. They have not seen her in 64 days.
And her phone
And
does
her
not ping. She turned it off immediately.
right, does not ping her location. And this is in Virginia also. Uh, and that
Hey, Jules.
I don't know.
Yeah, Thomas Jordan said it wouldn't stop him either.
Nope, you can't live in fear. You live in fear, and you decline to testify because of fear. Then you let the other guy win. Period.
You're talking to me.
Yeah, I'm talking exactly to you. And you talking about evidence, you've got to let the prosecution has got to let them know. Just like the way they hide witnesses, the defense hides witnesses, is say they have 4 or 5 people that they're going to have testify. They'll submit 100 names
Right.
of possible witnesses, knowing that they're not going to call but 2 or 3.
Okay, but my thing is there should be a punishment for the defense lawyers that give the person they're defending, they give them their addresses.
Well, why? I mean, I understand it's dangerous, okay? I understand it's dangerous, but if you were on trial, say you're on trial, and wouldn't you want your lawyer to tell you who's going to be testifying against you?
I can't think like that because I'm not a gangbanger.
No, I'm not saying not everybody that's arrested is a gangbanger.
Well, I know.
Not everybody
but
that's
a lot
arrested.
of them are. Look at
No.
me. No, look. Let me see. Look over here at me. Yeah, I thought your thing was bleeding right there, but it's not.
You just can't. I'd want to know who's going to be a witness against me. And that's the law says you have a right to face your own accuser. That's it.
Okay, I missed something. Oh,
Okay. All right. This is a family that's searching for their 26-year-old daughter who disappeared 3 weeks ago in Sydney, Montana. And you took this and sent that to me. So what is this about, Dina?
I forgot. I'm gonna have to look it up. What's her name?
Uh,
I completely don't. I can't even think of that one.
26-year-old Caitlin Berry has last been seen on December the 21st, 2021 in Sydney, Montana. They're looking for her. She's a very pretty girl.
Berry.
Hmm. You sent it to me
I know. I sent it
today.
I've read it. I've read it, but I can't remember now. I need my B12 shot.
You need something.
Hey, the investigation continues into the missing. Um, Multiple agencies, including the FBI, are now involved. More agencies are lending their hand in Richard County Sheriff's Office as an investigation on how Sydney woman disappeared last month. The FBI Bureau of Criminal Investigation and the U.S. Border Patrol are assisting the department in the search for the 26-year-old Caitlin Berry, who was last seen December 21st, has not been seen since. Sheriff Don Dyson says it remains simply a missing person case, but the office is also working to find out if there was foul play. We're still reaching out to various things through social media. I request the Department of Justice to assist us in trying to get some information out to the trucking industry, the hotel industry. Sounds like they think she was abducted for.
Yeah, runaway one, no.
No, 26 years old.
Well, if you run away, it doesn't matter.
No, it sounds like they're thinking she was a sex trafficker.
Yeah, maybe.
Berry left her cell phone at her residence and often walks to nearby Town Pumps gas station south of Sydney. Berry is a white female, slender, 5'4", 100 pounds, green eyes, and natural brown hair. She's currently shoulder length, dark brown hair, and that's all it says about her. So nobody's seen her since the 21st.
Yeah, that's somebody either got her or she walked away. I mean, it's possible she just walked away.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They found a little girl buried in the backyard on family grounds today. The stepfather was arrested. That's Kaylee says.
Also, there's something that Medina looked at today. The number of Americans still missing and unaccounted for by state during the Vietnam War. And if you don't know that are people that are missing from wars, all of our world wars, 1, 2, and the Vietnam War and wars overseas in Afghanistan and Iraq and any other place we have a conflict, there's still, just in these first states right here, 30 in Alabama, 2 in Alaska, 15 in Arizona,
All right, well,
15 in Arkansas, California, 162, and it goes on from there.
The remains of almost 82,000 Americans are still missing, according to the Defense POW MIA accounting agency. Listen to this. The missing soldiers from conflicts.
How many?
82,000.
Wow.
73,515 are still missing from World War II. We watched a movie last night that was called The Lost Valentine with Betty White. Great movie about World War II. It was great. And about bringing home our soldiers. And did you know your post office is supposed to fly a POW flag underneath the American flag? Every post office in America is supposed to be flying that flag, and that is a law. So if yours is not, you may want to tell them they need to get their flag up. Let's see. Vietnam in 1970. Vietnam's original missing. There have been the remaining missing in Vietnam is 1,244. In Cambodia is 48. Can you imagine? I mean, my family's all military, and I can't imagine if my brother had been killed in Afghanistan or over in Iraq and I had not, there was no closure.
Or you mean if they had been missing, not
Yeah,
killed?
missing.
Yeah,
Well, even if they're not brought home.
yeah. All right, and our last one we have here that
This one's strange.
is a boyfriend settlement hearing approaches. This girl is still missing now. In all of my years, 33 years of law enforcement, with several different departments, federal agencies that I worked along with, I've never heard of a settlement hearing. I don't know what exactly that is. It must be something that the court does. Not sure.
Wait, go back to that. Her name. CAR.
Jennifer Cardinal.
Her dad.
All right.
It's been 4 months since her disappearance.
Okay. Why don't you read that, Dana? Because my head.
Okay, it's been over 4 excruciating months for the Caradid family. I don't know how to say their last name. Since the 23-year-old went missing. Her parents say they last saw her on August 8th when she left their home in Sunnyside, Washington, telling them she was going to pick up her boyfriend, a 26-year-old Ariel Escobar. He remains in custody in the Jackson County Jail for a crime spree after a crime spree that spanned Washington and Oregon borders and ended in a shootout with police in Medford on August 11th. With the holidays fast approaching, her mother says she is holding out hope for her daughter's safe return. She says her daughter is not a piece of furniture that can be forgotten. Anyway, Escobar has a measure 11 settlement hearings scheduled in Jackson County on March 3rd. He will be extradited to face charges in Washington after sentencing. Jennifer's father says that the family continues to call and visit Sunnyside Police Department twice a week in hope of getting news to clue to their daughter's whereabouts. But there's some more to that.
I know it.
Because I told Tommy this just sounded strange.
4 pages of it.
Oh, okay. All right. It's very difficult not hearing anything of her. In fact, that's out of our hands. We can't do anything but wait on the police to tell us, to give us some news. There have been times that we don't believe anything that officers are telling us. They say nothing more than they are waiting for lab results. They found blood in her car, or in the back seat of her car, and it's been 8 months, and they still don't know whose blood it was. The test has not been done. During an interview, the Sunnyside Police Department confirmed that the blood had been discovered in the back seat. The vehicle was discovered at Bergland Lake in Yakima, the same lake where Escobar is accused of stealing a vehicle at gunpoint from a 24-year-old man who was fishing and shooting the man after he chased him into the car. The victim in that case is expected to make a full recovery. Yakima County Police said that they believe the blood on the seat could be Cardad's, and that they've searched the area by drone and sent dive crews into the lake to no avail. The department said in September that the blood results would be a key piece of information in the case, but said the lab results could take up to 8 months before return. During the phone interview on Monday, Sunnyside Commander Scott Bailey said those results still have not come back. When asked when the samples were submitted to the state's crime lab, he said he did not know that information, didn't have it in front of him. The same response he's given when asked the question in September. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not sure how big a police department this is, but I could, back when we were in the narcotics unit for a while, I was handling all the evidence, and I could tell you the date the evidence was taken, when I took it to the lab, and when
There were a
I
lot of times that we made it a date day to go to the lab.
yeah, if I had to go to Mobile, a lot of times I have to go to the lab in Mobile. I would just carry all the evidence with us, and we would go to Mobile and do something else.
In his police car.
I'd go by the lab, drop it off, and then maybe we'd go out to dinner or something. Because I mean, it's all secured in a big. They're all secured in evidence envelopes.
In order to get into the vehicle, we had to get a search warrant and a missing persons case. There is no criminal charge within the RCW Revised Code Washington that defined as a missing person, he said. In order to get a search warrant, we had to find a way to, because we're not going to. We couldn't manipulate the system, and then ultimately anything that is found from the car is fruit of a poison tree. Said the department has deliberate has to be deliberate in the way it collects evidence. We've taken our steps very slowly. Yeah, it sounds like they are. I'm sure the information will be available to be used in a court of law at a later date.
Let me explain something about that. Where they're saying, let's just say they had his car on the side of the road. So the officer says, you know what? I'm just going to impound that car. And that way we can get an inventory of it. And if we find anything from the murder in the car, then boom, we got him. Well, if you don't have a legal reason to impound the car to begin with, anything they find in the car would be illegal. Thus, it would be fruit of the poisonous tree. That's what they mean by that. So if now if the car was sitting in the road and then he had a legal right to impound it because boom, it was sitting in the road. And during the legal impoundment of a car, you do an inventory search, and that's something we did. We did an inventory search on every car that we impounded because of this. Say that the police go out and they impound your car because it's sitting in the middle of the road. They don't do an inventory of everything in the car. And you come back and say, well, I had a wallet on the front seat with $1,000 in it. And then the police can say, well, we didn't check the car. I guess it could have been in there, or it couldn't have been, or maybe the record driver took it. So we went back everything that we found in the car, we inventoried. And if we found a wallet underneath the front seat, we would take that, inventory the wallet, monies, and stuff like that, and then put it for safekeeping. But during the inventory, say we ran across a gun or something that with blood on it, then you may want to seal the car at that time and get a search warrant for the car if it looks like it could be evidence of another crime. It's just, go ahead.
Oh, that's it.
We didn't read that, did we?
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that's just a little history of what am I doing? That's just a little history of what he means by fruit of the poisonous tree. Okay.
We asked the police agency to see if Escobar could be willing to speak with them before we made the journey down there to Medford. He said no. He ain't gonna, he has nothing to lose. However, said she feels that is not enough. There has to be some way that they can get him to talk. It has to be a way. Someone who specialized. He is with her, and he was with her, and it's possible they are not making him talk.
Well, you can't make anybody talk. I hate to tell you these people. If they say, I do not want to say anything, I want a lawyer, that's all you can do. You can't take them in the room and beat it out of them. I know that when I had a good friend of mine, he's like a brother to me. He went over to Afghanistan or Iraq and worked with the civilian law enforcement over there. And he said the way they make, and I won't gross somebody out, he said the way they make people talk is they take them and hang them on a nail. In other words, they let their skin hang up on the
Oh.
nail, and then they they forcibly torture them to get the information. So if you torture somebody to get information out of it, chances are you're not going to get the correct information.
Oh, I'd give them anything they wanted. They hung
That's
me
what
on
I'm
a
saying.
nail.
I'm saying like that. That's what I'm saying.
Bailey said the department has received some leads and has followed up on those, but said we haven't gotten anything that has proven to be vital or overlying information yet. We are hoping that something will come up. We are continuing to work through the case, and as any information develops, we'll look into it and make sure that we have exhausted all options. Caridad's parents said they have inquired with the department about areas other than Burland Lake to search for her, but said they did not get any answers. Bless their hearts.
You know, I mean, I've got, I don't know what I would do if it was my child missing. You know, I just don't know. Our hands are tied because we don't have where to look for her. The guy said, the police said, I said, I look for resources. I published a picture of this is their parents, the mother, a picture of my girl imploring her mother. She said she has not spoken with her family since the incident, but knows they see the missing person posts on the internet, social media, and wishes they would do more to help find their daughter. Escobar has been living with the Cardinal family for about 2 months. Had been living with her family for 2 months before the crime spree and Jennifer's disappearance. I beg her, as her mother, that she tell her son to tell me where my baby is.
So that's the mother's girl.
Yeah,
the mother
I've
of the girl.
always treated him like a son when he was here in my home. Yeah, if he's in jail, they're not going to be able to do anything. If he's out of jail, they might be able to put a pressure on him.
Well, think about, wonder if it had a GPS that, they could go back, or her phone. Can they track where it was?
I'm sure they tried to do a ping on their phone.
Well, I don't know. This police department don't sound like it's doing too much.
I don't know. Very, very sad situation at the very least.
That's just really sad.
It is very sad, and it is very sad, for sure.
Hey, no, they don't. I think Beach Bum did move recently.
Yeah, I'm not sure where, but
maybe she'll be on later. I was just wondering where she was. I heard from Julie, and her and Doc are pushing through some medical stuff, so they're trying.
I was going to say something, but I don't forgot what it was. She's all right. Portagora, Bird Key to Punta Gorda. I've been down there.
We're going over to Mobile tomorrow.
Hopefully
we're going to Mobile tomorrow. We're boarding the dogs for the day. We'll pick them up tomorrow afternoon. We're going over to go to
the Mardi Gras
Museum and to get a king cake. Our daughter says we need to go to the place that's been making the king cakes the longest in Mobile. So we're going to go to Mobile. But I was going to tell you, if y'all want to see a really funny video, it's not out yet. But
yes, it is.
Okay, it is out.
It is out.
Okay, Bama Hinge.
Bama Hinge is the name of the video on our 1 Million Mile Road Trip. But in the first 2 minutes of that film, Medina locked her keys inside the RV and had to make a dynamic entry. I'll just say that entry to the vehicle, to the RV.
It was
It
quite
is.
hilarious.
Go over there and watch that. If you're not a member on our subscriber on our YouTube channel, the 1 Million Mile Road Trip, we would appreciate it if you go over and subscribe. That is our full-time RV channel. We are at 700 and almost 800 subscribers over there. That is the underneath there, the 1 Million Mile Road Trip. We are full-time RVers, and we post 3 times a week currently, and we would sure appreciate you going over and subscribing to the channel. We would love to be above 1,000 subscribers, but it takes a while, so every little bit helps.
Y'all got any questions or anything? Sorry, Gracie, I didn't mean to scare you. Y'all got any questions or anything? Got anybody missing in your area? You need.
We appreciate that, Teresa. We really do. We would really appreciate people going over and subscribing, because it does help us so much over there. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that a whole lot. We went bike riding today, but we're going to put some more bike. We went. If you've never been to Gulf Shores, they've got some amazing trails, bike trails
out at the state park.
State park. It goes, and they added so much more. Beautiful riding, place to ride, the trees,
and you can rent bikes there.
And yes, you can rent a bike and ride them if you want to. It's just a really good place, and we rode for about probably 6 miles today, about 6 miles, and we're going to go back out if we can. Maybe
tell them when.
Maybe next week, because it's supposed to be cold for the next 2 or 3 days and rainy. So we're going to have to wait to do that.
Okay. Going back to the missing, Summer Wells, her money fund is up to $73,000
for reward.
Her reward.
Well, unfortunately, on that case, I have my I think the family probably is being investigated. I think if she was taken, I think it was by my opinion is that I would look closer at the family. I know that they're saying that it's not a stranger abduction. That is what the law enforcement is saying. So
it says we have an update on the reward fund for Summer Rails, who went missing from her home, Hawkins County, in June 2021. The award has been extended until June 15th, 2022. At that time, it will go under review by the board of directors. The total stands at $73,700. The total comes from 2 large donations, $25,000 and $10,000, received at the beginning of the reward fund. The rest was contributed, made directly to the band, or mailed to the church rescue squad.
Wow. And you know what I hope they do with the money, if they have gathered the real money, I hope that if at some time they hold it in some type of trust that would say the information is given, it will go to that person.
It says the funds will either be dispersed to someone who comes forward with credible leads or tips, or to the Child Advocacy Center at the state, and determined at the start.
Wow. Hey, Gonzo, how you doing, buddy? You're up there working on that case right now? On the Summer Wells case right now? I hope so. Somebody needs to go up there and do something. I don't know. I have my idea of who's involved up there, but I don't think it's the Dixon Mafia as everybody was saying. Said they haven't ruled out anything out, and
What
they update the Amber Alert frequently. Yeah, I agree. They
What
have
is
not.
the little boy's name?
Michael Vaughn.
Michael.
Michael Vaughn also out in Fruitland, Idaho. They are saying that is definitely an abduction.
The latest update was announced Wednesday from the Fruitland Police Department, who says the reward for the boy's safe return is $52,206.
Mm-hmm. You can add another 100,000 onto that because I don't think he's ever going to be returned safely. Unfortunately, I wish he would, but
It's so sad.
And then of course, the Orson West boys, Olson and Orson West. That's another one. I cannot believe that there has not been an arrest.
They said they've received 738 tips in connection with the Michael Vaughn case.
Yeah. Wait, what is that? Go down the map.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. In November, the Associated Press reported Michael was likely abducted, according to police. Exhaustive ground searches in a 2-mile radius near the family home since July led to no signs of the little boy. All right, and then there's a map on here.
To Weaver.
Okay, wait a minute. Since their last investigation began, local authorities and Idaho State Police and FBI expanded the ground search to a remote forest piece of land near Weiser. The area is less than 20 miles from Michael Vaughn's home.
They had to have some information for that.
They had to have a reason to be doing that, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they went up and searched in Weiser.
They didn't find anything.
It doesn't say so.
I think until they find that car, they're probably not going to have anything.
Orson.
Well, Gonzo, I hope you have good luck up there, buddy. I appreciate if you'd let us know if we can help you in any way or you hear anything. And stay safe and coordinate with police if you can. I know that they would appreciate it too.
Hang on just 1 second. Let me look at these tools. Past week. Okay, 1 year and then no answer. They've been missing since December 21st.
Yeah, I think that's unbelievable. All right, well, we're going to let you go. And we do appreciate you coming with us tonight. And we appreciate everything you do. Please go over to our other channel and subscribe. We really need the subscribers over there. We really do appreciate it. And say your prayers for Julie and Doc and Gonzo in his efforts up there in Tennessee. And everybody that's out here on the ground doing some, getting out there and doing the work.
Okay. Karen asked, on snowy, cold, and rainy days, do you spend the day in your RV, Thomas and Medina, or do you get outside?
On the rainy, snowy days, we stay inside.
Well, the dogs make us get out.
Yeah, we have to get out 2 or 3 times a day because of the dogs. They have to get out and do their business. So unfortunately, that doesn't matter what the weather is. That always happens. But it depends. I mean, when Dina was under the weather up in Tennessee and snowing, I got out with Maggie and ran her some, and we probably would have done a whole lot more if Dina was feeling good.
Well, not only do when we stay in though, a lot of times he's editing tapes, but a lot of times we're just playing. We play this game called Dirty Board. It's a lot like not Chinese checkers, a lot like Sorry.
Yeah.
And we play Dirty Board and we play Rummy. A lot. And bless his heart, I caught him looking on the internet the other day on how to win at Rummy because I've got him 148 games to 13.
Yeah.
So bless his heart. Check if you are subbed. I was unsubscribed from the Million Mile Road Trip.
I don't know why you were unsubscribed, Sketty. I promise you, I haven't unsubscribed anyone actually. So I appreciate it. Yeah, go back and see if you're subscribed. We really need subscribers over there. Even if you're not going to watch us much, go subscribe. It really helps us out. Uh,
Check out the Bama Hinge. I'm
yeah,
telling
check out
you,
Bama Hinge. That was the
you'll get a
funny.
good laugh.
It's about the first 3 minutes of the video, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, we would just appreciate you going over there and subscribing, even if you're not going to watch them, because uh, what it amounts to is YouTube is running ads on my website, and I'm not getting anything from it until I get a certain amount of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, and I'm up there close to 4,000, but I don't have enough subscribers. So basically, they're making the money. I'm not getting a dime from it, but we do appreciate that for sure.
Maddie says they keep doing it to her too.
Yeah, I don't understand why that is. I've heard from a lot of people that they've lost subscribers, have been unsubbed for whatever reason. But I just tell people I'd appreciate it if you go back and check. Um,
Rue said, "We pray for the best, but it seems we need to expect the worst these days. Women are being attacked while trying to make a living. Lord, help us. We are looking up. Redemption draws near."
I wanted to say something too. I read right before I came on that indigenous women have asked Congress and the legislature in their home states that they want to be included in any alerts through police and law enforcement in the off the reservation when they have a missing or an abducted person on the reservation. Currently, local police have no authority on the reservation, so a lot of times there could be somebody that gets abducted right there. I mean, they could see the abduction and everything, but if they go off the reservation, they may never, or they, in other words, something happens on the reservation. You could be the town that butts up against the reservation and never even know it, because it's the jurisdiction. It's almost like they're in their own little country. They don't
Well,
have,
they are.
well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, they're in the United States of America, but they're on a reservation, which is federal protected Indian land. The local authority has no authority out there, so you could have somebody that's been abducted right there, and then the guy that's working the other side of the border there, the outside of that reservation, has no idea, and the car could drive right through the town, and they would have a chance to save somebody's life, but don't know anything about it. And I'll tell you a weird situation that applies there. When I worked for Huntsville PD in North Alabama, I was working the northwest side of town, and my zone had a borderline between the south end of town, which I we had our radios at that time never scanned. They didn't scan. It was the old days. You just had north, south, and you had 5 channels, but you had north and south were the two main channels. So remember driving down the border between north and south. I heard gunshots on the south end. I mean, within a block of me. I didn't have any idea what was going on down there. I hear gunshots and I see cars running up and down the road. And I asked dispatch at the time, I said, "What's going on the south end?" I said, "I'm right here at it. I'm on the border. I'm right here at it." And then she says, "Switch over to south." So I switched to south, and they had an armed robbery less than a half a block from me. So it's like that with nowadays. They have what they call a simulcast, where they'll do a north south simulcast the whole city every time they have a robbery, so that if one person drives over across the border between the radio frequencies, you'll know what's going on. It's kind of a weird thing, but that's with them, an Indian reservation. They could have a someone abducted, leaving a white car. A policeman outside the reservation could see a white car and just say, "Oh, there goes a white car." He doesn't know there's been anything, um, anything involved. So that's what I'm saying. They're trying to get it where it's, if they have um, a crime within the reservation, a abduction, murder, missing person, it automatically goes out to all the surrounding cities uh, that is butts up against this reservation, maybe within the state. Like you got a lot of reservations in New Mexico and Arizona, or New Mexico police, Arizona State Police would have that information so they could possibly get a car or save somebody's life.
I pulled up active Amber Alerts. Summer Wells is the only one that pulls up right now.
Well, so anyway, we love y'all. Y'all be safe, be healthy, and we hope to see you very soon.
Bye, y'all. Have a good night.
Have a good night, and hope to see you. Just keep looking for us. We'll post when we're going to be on. Next week is the earliest right now, but it might change if this weather gets bad and we look like we're going to be locked down in this thing for a couple of days. Who knows? So we'll see you later. God bless y'all. What is wrong here? I can't get it.